So, hello, welcome to this webinar. My name is Olli Voutilainen. I'm working at the University of Vaasa.
And my name is Martta, Ylilauri, and I also work here at the University of Vaasa. And this webinar is a part of the new Nordic NaBS service models project. And this webinar concerns the study of the opportunities and challenges of nature-based services. And this webinar is part one of this study.
So let's continue. So the contents of the webinar. So this is part one of this webinar. And firstly, we have an introduction part. So objectives of the study, case regions, and definitions, some definitions of this study. And then we introduce you some material and methods used in this study. And second part is analysis part. And firstly, we will introduce you case of Finland. So structures and cooperation models, supply and demand, strengths and opportunities, as well as weaknesses and threats, including barriers for services relating to nature-based services. Then in part two, we introduce case Sweden. So the content is the same as in Finland. So structures and cooperation models, supply and demand, strengths and opportunities, and weaknesses and threats, including barriers for services. And then we will make some conclusions based on the analysis of Finland and Sweden. And then we introduce a short reference to Norway. And finally, we will introduce recommendations to be implemented in this project. So we have 3 different countries and many different case regions. In Finland, we have 3 case regions. We have Central Ostrobothnia, Northern Ostrobothnia, and Lapland. And in Sweden, we have Västerbotten or Norrbotten. And in Norway, we have Nordland, Tromsø, and Finnmark. And what is the nature-based services? We define nature-based services so that they are activities aimed to improve human well-being and quality of life. We have different themes concerning nature-based services. We have green care, grön arena, grön omsorg, naturunderstödd rehabilitering, NUR, and infotunet. So different countries have different terms concerning these nature-based services. And these activities make use of nature, for instance, natural environments, gardens, farm environments, and animals, in connection with various social, health care, pedagogical, and recreational services. And these services are based on the restorative and rehabilitative effects of nature, which arise from participation and experiences. And the services are provided professionally, reliably, and purposefully according to clients' needs. So these are the key elements. And what are the objectives of this work package? So the main aim of this work package is to provide information about characteristics and preconditions, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, including demand and supply in the nature-based services. So we will do a kind of SWOT analysis. And the focus of the work package is on social healthcare and pedagogic sector, as well as entrepreneurs and companies offering these nature-based services described earlier. And the work package provides guidelines as well as recommendations for other actions in this project, including what means could be used to remove existing barriers and support the implementation of nature-based services. And then some words concerning methods of this work package. So we have done document analysis, which includes studies, reports, etc. concerning nature-based activities and services. Then the analysis is based on previous experiences and documentation of regional and local service experiments and service models. Secondly, the analysis is based on interview study. And the participants of the interviews are firstly actors in social and healthcare sector, so demand side, and entrepreneurs, which is supply side. And thirdly, this analysis is based on survey. And participants of electronic questionnaires we have made are firstly actors in social, healthcare, and pedagogical sector, so demand side, and secondly, entrepreneurs and companies, which is supply side.
Then we go to the analysis concerning Finland. We have done this survey with 171 respondents, and then we made interviews in all these 3 regions, together 13 different interviews, and this document analysis Olli already mentioned. And these main themes of these questionnaires and also the interviews and document analysis were structures and cooperation models, which are now in use. Then we try to figure out what is the supply and demand of these nature-based services in these 3 different areas in Finland. And then find out which are the biggest strengths and opportunities in this field now at the moment, and also the weaknesses and threats, including barriers for using the services at the moment. Then shortly, supply in Finland. We have different actors in these case regions, which are called both green care and other nature-based service providers. And we had 35 survey respondents, which has had activities in nature areas, and animal-assisted activities were the most common forms of nature-based activities. Then we have in Green Care Finland's website, we had totally 35 registered service providers in Central Ostrobothnia, 14, Northern Ostrobothnia 13, and Lapland 8, including all sectors. And according to the Green Care Finland, the registered service providers in these 3 case regions together offer 27 animal-assisted activities, 11 gardening activities, 18 activities on farms, and 22 activities making use of natural environments and materials. And this same themes came out in the 6 interviews for the entrepreneurs we have done under this project. So it followed the same division of these activity forms in Finland. Then demand in Finland in these 3 case regions. In this study, we have made this abbreviation, which means all these actors who are professionals in social, healthcare, and pedagogic sector. And pedagogic sector includes schools and daycare units. They represent demand concerning service purchases for clients in public sector, the third sector, including associations or private sector. And these actors can, in some cases, produce nature-based services by their own staff too. In the survey, the respondents were professionals in social, healthcare, and pedagogic sector. But in the interviews, we had only the respondents from social and healthcare sector. In Finland, there's a growing interest of nature-based services, but according to the interviews and the survey, purchasing of the services is still very marginal in the project area.
So next I will introduce the strengths and opportunities of Finland concerning these nature-based services. First, some key results relating to knowledge, professional skills, and qualities. The recognition of nature-based methods and the positive effects is in good level among the entrepreneurs offering nature-based services. Among social healthcare and pedagogic sectors, positive impacts in the nature-based services are also increasingly recognized. Then innovativeness, creativeness in service design and courage to make new implementation among the entrepreneurs offering nature-based services and among the pioneers in social healthcare and pedagogic sectors is also one of the key results and one of the strengths in this field. Then many entrepreneurs have very versatile competence and have also participated on Green Care project and complementary education. And finally, the flexibility of small-scale enterprises to react and adapt to current demand and the changes in the service market is also one of the key strengths. Then the key results concerning operational environment and institutional structures. Nature-based activities diversify and complete the service structure, and this brings effectiveness as a part of multi-professional and holistic service. And among social healthcare and pedagogic sectors, general attitude towards nature-based methods is positive. And then based on the survey done in the study, the future of the nature-based services is positive. It is commonly believed that nature-based services will increase in the own unit or company as well as in the area of operation within 5 years. So in the near future. And then actors, networks and activities. The specific nature of Green Care theme has encouraged the actors to network, not only between sectors, but also nationally and internationally. And there are also a few Green Care and nature-based entrepreneurs in project area that are commonly known in the region and have already had cooperation with social healthcare and pedagogic sectors. And the variation of current and potential client groups offers opportunities to specialize in certain client groups. And then some more results relating to actors, networks and activities. So many social and healthcare actors are aiming to more preventive services. So this can open new possibilities to nature-based entrepreneurs. And among social healthcare and pedagogic sectors, there are often suitable settings for nature-based activities in the vicinity of their own unit. And finally, there are already great examples where social care clients have managed to stop juggling with different authorities and service units by committing to a regular Green Care service. And this has personal but also economical impact.
Thank you. And then we go to the weaknesses and threats which came out in these 3 case regions. First, when we talk about knowledge, professional skills and qualities, there's still lack of information, competence and special knowledge about among social healthcare and pedagogic organizations, and also their clients concerning nature-based methods and these effects, all these results of different studies and so on, and also the services and service providers in the area. So they don't know which kind of possibilities there is. And then there are big difficulties with marketing, including pricing, as well as profitability concerning entrepreneurs. And there's also, especially small and additionally part-time entrepreneurs, they have challenges regarding use of time. So these were the main challenges that came out. And when we talk about operational environment and institutional structures, there are difficulties to incorporate nature-based services into the current service structure. And the culture of trying and testing is still missing, mostly missing. Only few exceptions are to be seen. And there are also lack of regional examples of cooperation between entrepreneurs and social, healthcare, and pedagogic sectors. And when we talk about operational environment and institutional structures, there's also shortage of financial resources and also difficulties to reallocate the resources among the social, healthcare, and pedagogic sector, which prevents buying the services at the moment. And especially based on the survey, legislation is seen more restrictive among entrepreneurs than among the social, healthcare, and pedagogic sectors. Then weaknesses and threats concerning actors, networks, and activities. And now we're talking about these nature-based service activities. So in Finland, all these companies, which included our study, have minor or great difficulties reaching the clients, and the threshold to take contact to social, healthcare, and pedagogic sector is high at the moment. And finding partners and crossing the sector boundaries were found difficult. And there's seen some lack of courage among the social, healthcare, and pedagogic sector actors, and especially the buyers of the services, regarding new experience of these nature-based services, for instance, green care here in Finland. And it came out in several occasions that key persons in the social, healthcare, and pedagogic sectors are very important, but it also can make the cooperation more vulnerable and unpredictable when people change and there comes new stuff. So it's not said that this good cooperation is continuing. So this came out in several occasions. Then recommendations to be implemented in this project. This is a very important task of this whole survey and all the other parts of this study. And all these recommendations are presented in the webinar part 2 after we go through the analysis of Sweden and shortly check the Norwegian study. Then, if you're interested about some details or will have more information about this study concerning opportunities and these challenges, so please go and check our project website. Here is the address to that, and we have also this YouTube channel where all the other webinars are available. And here is our contact information if you want to ask something that doesn't come out from the reports published. So please don't hesitate to send an email or contact us otherwise. So thank you for listening.
Thank you.